One fake DNA test took my daughter away from me.
8 years later, the truth destroyed everyone who believed the lie.
Before everything fell apart, my daughter was my entire world. Every evening after work, we'd build castles, play games, or read stories together.
No matter how exhausting my day was, hearing Emma call me Daddy made every struggle worth it.
Lately, though, Sarah had changed.
She smiled less, stayed out later, and guarded her phone like it held secrets she never wanted me to see. Every time I asked if something was wrong, she'd simply say she was tired.
I wanted to believe her.
One night, I came home early with a birthday surprise for Emma.
Before I reached her room, I heard Sarah whispering through the bedroom door.
No, not yet.
He still doesn't know. My heart sank.
I stood there frozen, wondering who she was talking to. I told myself I was imagining things. Maybe I was overthinking.
That night, we ate dinner together like always. Emma laughed, showed me her school drawings, and asked if I'd come to her school play next week.
I promised I wouldn't miss it for the world. Sarah barely touched her food. The next morning, everything changed. The doorbell rang just after breakfast. A courier handed me a sealed envelope from family court. I smiled, thinking it had to be some kind of mistake. I opened it,
and my entire world began to collapse. Inside were divorce papers.
My hands started shaking.
I looked up at Sarah, expecting her to tell me it was some cruel joke. She didn't smile. She didn't cry. She just stared at me like she'd already moved on. Then she said something that shattered every happy memory I'd ever had. There's something else you need to know.
She took a deep breath before saying, Emma isn't your biological daughter. I felt the floor disappear beneath my feet.
She placed a DNA report on the table and pushed it toward me.
According to the results, there was a 0% chance I was Emma's father. I read the report again and again,
hoping the words would somehow change.
They never did.
Before I could even process it, Emma ran into the room holding her favorite teddy bear.
Daddy, can we go get ice cream later? She asked with the biggest smile. My heart broke.
I looked at the little girl I'd loved for 8 years, and not a single part of me believed she wasn't my daughter. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept asking myself the same question over and over. Was the DNA report really telling the truth, or was the family I'd built falling apart because of a lie I couldn't yet see?
I had no idea that the worst was still waiting for me. The next morning, before I could even think clearly, Sarah went straight to my parents. She showed them the DNA report and told them I had been living a lie for 8 years. By the time I arrived, they had already made up their minds. My father didn't ask me a single question. The moment he saw me, he held up the DNA report and shouted, "Were you going to keep lying to all of us?" I tried to explain that I had only learned about the report the night before, but nobody wanted to listen. I begged them to slow down. I told them something didn't feel right. Emma had my smile, my habits, even my laugh. I asked them to wait until I could investigate the DNA test. My father answered with words I'll never forget.
The paper doesn't lie.
A week later, we stood in family court. Sarah's lawyer confidently presented the DNA report as evidence. My lawyer argued that we needed a second independent test, but the judge ruled that the existing report would be used until further investigation.
Every second felt like my world was falling apart. As they walked away, Emma looked back at me with tears in her eyes.
"Daddy,
when are you coming home?"
she asked. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. Watching my little girl disappear down those courthouse steps was more painful than any verdict a judge could have given me. 8 years passed.
I buried myself in work because it was the only thing that kept my mind from thinking about Emma.
My construction company slowly grew into one of the most respected firms in the city.
Success filled my bank account, but it never filled the empty space my daughter had left behind. No matter how successful I became, one photograph never left my desk.
Every birthday, every Christmas, I wondered if Emma still remembered the man she used to call Daddy. Some nights, I almost convinced myself to stop hoping I'd ever see her again. Emma had grown up too. Sarah had always told her that Michael abandoned them after discovering he wasn't her real father.
But deep inside,
Emma never believed it. She couldn't forget the man who never missed a school play, who taught her how to ride a bike, and who tucked her into bed every night. One afternoon, while looking for an old photo album, Emma found something hidden inside her mother's bedroom. It was the DNA report,
along with another sealed envelope she had never seen before. Curiosity got the better of her.
She opened it, and everything she thought she knew began to fall apart. The letter was from a former laboratory technician.
It revealed that Sarah had paid him to switch the DNA samples before the test was processed. The report that destroyed my life
Had been completely fake. Emma's hands started shaking. For 8 years, she had believed a lie that stole her father from her. Emma stormed into the living room with the DNA report in one hand and the confession letter in the other. Through tears, she looked at her mother and asked one question.
Tell me the truth. Did you lie to me about Dad?
Sarah's face turned pale.
She knew she couldn't hide anymore.
Sarah broke down completely.
Between sobs, she admitted everything. She had paid a corrupt laboratory employee to switch the DNA samples because she wanted full custody during the divorce. She never imagined the lie would steal 8 years from her father and his daughter.
That same afternoon, Emma searched for me.
When I stepped outside my office, I saw a young girl standing at the entrance.
It took me a second to recognize her. She had grown so much.
But those eyes were still my little girl. Emma ran straight into my arms.
Dad, I am so sorry, she cried.
I held her tighter than I ever thought possible. You never have to apologize, I whispered. None of this was your fault.
I stopped being your father on paper.
But I never stopped loving you.
Weeks later, my parents and Sarah came asking for forgiveness. I forgave them because carrying hatred would only hurt me. But forgiveness didn't mean going back to the life they destroyed. The greatest gift I received wasn't revenge. It was getting my daughter back.
And this time, no lie would ever take her away again. Welcome to the Vindictive Archive. One lie stole 8 years from a father and his daughter.
But the truth found its way home.
Tell us in the comments, could you forgive someone who stole years of your child's life?
If you enjoyed this story, subscribe and join us for the next entry.
Until then,
the ledger is closed.